Hello, welcome. This is Ro, and Christina is going to join me soon. Today we have a lovely talk on art and healing. Okay. Hey, Maite. Hello, hello. There you are, Chris. Yes. Mm-hmm. Ooh, we're back here on Instagram.
If it's gonna work. But
Yeah, it's
there
gonna
I am.
work. Yeah, there you are. Hope you.
Yay! I see me, I see you, I see the universe. Yay! So nice to be here.
Yeah.
Mm. How are you doing?
Um, Today it was slow morning. I did some movement, some exercise, and yoga, and then I took my shower, and I'm here now. So it was good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty relaxing.
hmm And you? How was your day? It's 6 p.m. where you are, right?
Yes.
hmm
So it's evening. It's I hope it doesn't get too dark, but if if I uh if I start going really dark, it's not me, it's just the weather. No, but I didn't have as relaxing day as you. Kind of
hmm
challenging day, with just one of those days where you really have to find a way to get through it. And so I've been
mm
looking forward to this all day.
Oh, same. I was
Yeah,
very, excited to do this again. I always love
it's
our
been too
yes.
long.
Yes.
Yeah. And I got lots of questions that I've been looking at and spending my day on.
hmm
And it made me so happy to see that there were so many questions that we could answer, and I looked forward to hearing
hmm
your replies, as well as starting to think about my own.
hmm
Uh, so we have at least 10 questions that I
Oh,
got.
that's good. Yes.
Yeah. And then I was also reminded that we actually did last time we did this, I think it was kind of a similar theme. So
hmm
maybe we should start by talking about the theme that we have today.
Sure. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was art and healing,
hmm
and someone is
It's Rose
excited.
Bunny. Yes,
Yay.
that's Sarah. Thank you
Rose
for
Bunny.
your excitement. Yes. Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for joining. Good to see everyone. Yay.
hmm
We're looking so much forward to it.
hmm
And we're going to be talking about, we talked about it already, art and healing
hmm
last time. It's almost been a year, I think.
Yes, so many things have changed perhaps. Our routines also are different and we're implementing new stuff in our lives. So yeah, it's exciting.
Exactly. Hi, Ren.
Hello. Hey,
Hi,
Diana.
Diane. Yay. So nice to see everyone. Yeah, but as you say, so many things have changed since last time, and also we added a sexuality
Yeah,
angle.
sexuality theme.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
good.
yeah. That's my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and we kind of got the idea because Ro has been doing the 30
Thanks,
days of
Tony.
wholeness, and she was adding a video about sexuality and EFT tapping,
Mhm.
and she's also been looking into some past lives she's had, and we just got so excited about it, and we wanted to do a live session here and just talk and have a good time and answer questions, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
looking forward to it.
Yes. So let's
So,
go ahead and dive into the questions or the themes. Mhm.
yes, do you have questions or is it
I have a
me?
few like general questions, but let's go ahead first with yours, I think. I'm very
Yeah.
curious about the questions you got.
Mm, yes. Okay. So the first question that I got is, what can you do when you're not creating good art? Yeah, because it's art and healing, and maybe art is not so healing. Hi, Karina. Maybe art is not so healing if you feel like it's not great.
Yeah.
I guess that's what's behind this question, and I can totally relate. Can you? Do you also get frustrated?
Yeah, it's like very funny because yeah, when I think it's art is like your job, sometimes you can miss that aspect of spontaneity and looking forward to it. So it gets like into this routinary space. So you need to reignite that, that spark, that spontaneity, that intuitive aspect of your art. So perhaps that's how it becomes more pleasant to do. And of course, I think we all have our ebb and flow, and sometimes we feel like things are, moving, they're flowing. It's easier to make art or create something and give it to the world. And other times we need to retreat, perhaps, and take time to absorb inspiration from other artists or reflect. And perhaps you relate to that. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely also know the feeling of, hi Karina, hi Hanam,
Hello.
of hello out there. Excuse me. I got too excited. Um, yeah, and I guess if we were to get into what to do if you feel like you're just not creating something that's good, then that could be some strategy that I've tried recently to get into. Um, I guess if you feel like it's not good art that you're creating, I guess it could be because you expect it to be better for
Mm-hmm.
some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're striving for perfection, but
Mm-hmm.
it could also be because it's not expressing who you are
Mm-hmm.
actually. And that's a place that I've only just been. Hi, the Emperor 29. Good to see you. I'll
Hi, I'm
just get
from
some water for a moment.
Shantan. Good to see you.
Yeah. Mm,
Hello.
yeah. But I guess that could be two reasons that I know of
Mhm.
personally for why art is not good.
Mhm.
And I think that I have done recently because I felt like I was on the most peaceful people on the planet. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's pretty cool. That's cool. It sounds like we're like you step into this chat room and it's just meditation and
Go see this place. Yeah.
yeah, it could be. But an exercise that I have tried. I'm like, oh
Coffee.
my husband is bringing me water. Thank you so much. He doesn't want me to die live.
I also have my glass of water.
Ah, that's great. Yay. No, I was coughing because I was excited actually. I had like, oh, I have to tell them this, and then I was like, so yeah. Yeah, but I tried this really interesting exercise that's called think with your hands because I have a tendency to do both things. Not express myself, but kind of mellow to what other people expect or what I expect. Maybe I want to create something that's impressive instead of expressive. It could be. But this exercise is kind of just takes that opportunity away. You kind of have to, hey, you kind of have to just think with your hands, as the exercise says. It could be, of course, drawing, but I've done it using collage and cutting things out and putting things together in a different way, which is so interesting. And that takes away the opportunity to be too perfectionistic. It
Yes.
takes a it really gives you the opportunity also to make your own language really quickly because you can do anything if you can just cut it out and put it together. So that's been really an interesting way for me to get back to creating something that I thought was good,
That's
as opposed to something
mhm.
else.
Yeah.
Do you have something that you do if you ever feel like, do you ever feel like, oh, this is just not, this is no good?
In my case, I think what helps me too is intuitive art, and you know that I love practicing that as a way
Yes.
also be
Yeah.
in the moment and zero judgment with whatever it is that comes in the paper in the paper sheet. It's just simply about I think my own enjoyment and tuning in
Mm,
to essence, bringing inspiration from the universe, my guides, and just letting it flow through me because I serve like channel as a vessel of that, that inspiration. And
mm,
some of the times, the scribbles I do, they don't really have to, be pretty or, match a standard of beauty or whatever. Sometimes most of these
mm,
art, I do it for myself and I feel
mm.
okay with that, and it's like, loosening up your hands or, also
Yes.
your mind, your heart, your emotions. So after I do that, I feel more like more relaxed, also more open to explore other
Yeah.
forms of my creativity. For example, oh, I get like an idea for a new video, or to message a person I want to connect with. Perhaps I have those insights and inspirations, and I think it's very important to remember that perfection doesn't really exist. And if you're always striving for perfection, you're going to miss out lots of opportunities to simply be yourself and enjoy the moment. And I love this
Hmm.
quote that is, it's better done than perfect. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's better done than perfect. And
Oh,
for
that's good.
example, in my YouTube journey, I made like lots of videos, and I'm sure like my videos are super like low-fi quality in comparison to perhaps other YouTubers, but I'm super okay with that because it's my style. It's what comes up from me right now at this moment in my life, and I feel like that's enough. And I shouldn't be like judging myself or thinking that, oh, I should be doing something better. So in my case, it's like it is what it is. I kind of, accept that. And of course, I try to improve myself, but, I try to enjoy what is at the moment.
You're so good at stuff like that. And that really shines through when you do make a video. It's always like, y- um, I don't know what you see in it that's not perfect, but you can feel the spontaneousness, and you can feel that you're doing it actually for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we also talked about that last, when I said like maybe one would be disappointed if you put up a video and it doesn't really get a response.
Mm-hmm.
And you said I don't feel like that because I put it up for me. I expressed something, and that's where you want to go, but it's also a different
Yeah,
difficult place
yeah,
to
it's a
go to.
difficult place, of course, especially if
Yeah.
you're like a small creator and your income depends on how much,
Mm.
viewers or clients you make from your work. So right now
Yeah.
I've been in this journey for about 1.5 years so far, like self-employed, doing my passion here. And yeah, it's been a bit challenging sometimes, but I think I'm on the right path. It's all about, continuing that work, from my heart and, you know, connecting with like-minded spirits because we support each other, we inspire each other to continue this path. And oh, thank you that
Yeah,
you.
we got some comments. I was also like,
Mhm.
they don't disappear, do they? I'm always so worried when it's like technicality. It's like, no, wait.
Can you scroll up in your screen? I can't scroll on my screen. Oh,
I
thank you,
can scroll.
Karina.
I can scroll on my own face. Yeah,
That's what I do when I see
Karina says,
things. Yes. Oh.
yeah,
Mhm.
because Karina also started to do some more creative
Mhm.
things lately. I know because I did them with her. Hey,
Megan
she's,
says, I love that about your work, role. Thank you.
yeah,
So many women have a problem with perfectionism that stops them from getting started. That's so true. It is inspiring to me. Oh. Yeah. Well, usually the
exactly.
first step is the most difficult, and from that, once
Yeah.
you get that first step, you take that first step, things get easier. It's also this commitment to yourself because you are doing that every day. You're showing up for yourself, for your audience, for your friends, and yeah, it's that practice that I think it gets slowly it gets easier. And of course, it is valid to have our own doubts. They are going to pop up, from time to time. But the thing is, it's giving, I think, taking a step back from those doubts, because usually these kind of, negative criticisms in your mind are learned from your past, maybe from your parents, from your culture, from more people who were wounded and they projected their wounding onto you. So you need to, oh, this is not me. This negative talk isn't me. My essence is always encouraging me to do my art, create for the world, create for myself. So always try to listen to that, that soft voice of your spirit. That's what I do, at least, and it's been very helpful.
That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
That was really, that resonated so much. Yeah, it's true. Get back to, so if we can summarize this question, which was, what can you do when you're not creating good art? I guess we're saying all together that if you feel like it's not good, it's either because you feel like you are not expressing yourself, or you're trying to be perfect, maybe. And I know so many wonderful creative people who spend years and years and years doing like the same thing because they don't want to put it out there because it's not perfect yet. And the more they try to perfect it, the more, in my opinion, mainstream or boring it becomes. So I don't think it's a good idea to keep on working on the same thing. It can be done quickly, it can be done passionately, it can be done from essence and be imperfect and beautiful.
Yeah.
At the same time.
It's perfectly
imperfect. Doesn't have,
and that's more than enough. Exactly. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. And with that, we can move on to, we have many great questions and we have a 1 hour limit today.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to get, no, I don't want to get through them all, but there are just so many interesting ones. So the next one is, can the expression of art be gender fluid or neutral? I guess because we mentioned sexuality in this video, what we intended to talk about. So someone is asking about the expression of art as gender fluid or neutral. Do you have something?
That's very interesting.
It really is.
Yeah.
I got these questions are like, also because I'm kind of on a new path as an artist, so all these questions are kind of new to me because I have to like take them in and view them with a different lens than I used to a year ago when we last met. So it's I appreciate these questions so much. It's really helpful to me as well. So, can the expression of art be gender fluid or neutral?
Absolutely. It depends on the artist. And I think we are so free to explore whatever it is we want to convey to the world. I think art transcends all barriers, all levels, and it can be very liberating. And of course, you can shape it in a way that maybe fits into a certain kind of level or mold, if that's for you, or you can just explore the full spectrum of sexuality, gender, and yes, I think yes, of course, it can be gender fluid, it can be queer, it can be straight, heterosexual, homoerotic, all you want.
Yeah. Do you have like have you experimented with being more, I guess, I don't know, because I have recently I have like a new an entirely new account under an alias that I actually tried to keep gender fluid. I didn't want to be like known as like a girl or a boy or myself or anyone. I just wanted to be able to put things out there that I didn't necessarily, because also sometimes it might be felt like some people feel like because they know me they have to like my art and stuff. So it just felt like very freeing to be like, just to have an alias and not be male, not be female, not anything. Have you ever tried anything where you were like,
for the books I'm writing? So I think I I told you about this. It's a, like
Yeah.
adventure, spiritual fantasy novel I'm writing, and most of my
Mm.
characters are, in the spectrum, and I really want that to be like this work of art that everyone can relate to it on some level, and not necessarily give my audience like a clear definition of the gender or the sexuality of my characters, but simply open to interpretation, and also
Ah, okay.
perhaps create my own alias for publishing my my novels and that, because
Oh, you're gonna do that?
yeah, I would love to do that, like create an alias for my for the literature part of my world, let's say.
Huh?
And
Okay. That's so interesting. And also, like as an author, because last time we spoke, I didn't know you as like an author in the sense that you are now, that you're actually writing this
mhm,
novel that I know of and I heard about the
yeah.
character naming. And
Mhm.
so do you feel it's easy to as an author be gender fluid and kind of feel both male and female energy in your characters? How is that? Do you feel it's easier to write female characters because you are female, or is it the same?
Uh, I I try not to think in those terms, like in dichotomies,
Mm,
because in the end,
mm,
I think for me it's just the energy of the character, and
yeah.
more than male or female, it's like certain kind of energy. For example, focus energy. The character is more like
Yes.
energetic, is more disciplined, or that, or if the character is more nurturing, more creative, more fluid, and
Mm,
I've been exploring that a lot in my own, in my energy healing work and in my imagination. I love doing that on my own, and
yeah.
talking to my spirit guides, doing those kind of interactions, conversations, and
Ah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like it's a whole world to explore. And yeah, I think when I'm writing those characters, I see them as like very like maybe tomboyish characters, very androgynous, that they can be whatever they want to be depending on the moment. And I'm like
Mm.
giving spoilers right now, so I don't really want to give them spoilers. No
No, no spoilers.
spoilers.
But, so we could say that maybe this also goes for the question that
Mm-hmm.
there is an energy in
Mm-hmm.
all of us that is both male and female.
Exactly. We have all those energies within us, and if you relate to the concepts of reincarnation, we have been male and females, in our past lives and in our future
Mm,
lives, and within
mm,
us we have this instinctive sense of connecting to both of them. Of course, perhaps most of perhaps we relate more to the focused or male energies, or more to the fluid and female energies. But anyways, I think we all can tap into those energies, and it's all a matter of
mm.
perhaps meditating. I love doing that. I meditate, I tune in with myself, and I get a feeling of, for example, the character or the energy I'm writing more about, and then it's like it flows from that. So yeah, we all can
Mm.
tap into those different kinds of energies. Hmm.
But that's interesting. Also, if you can tap into the character,
Hmm.
maybe it exists in some form already that we can call, and we could actually talk to the character if it's an energy form. Then during meditation, do you invite them and let them inspire you like that?
Yeah, it's like because they
Yeah.
have been in my imagination for about like since 2017. They were like there, and I could like just touch them again and ask them, okay, what would you like me to write about you, and what is the story going to be like? And it's like
Ah,
kind of like that my process. And yeah, for example, of course, one of my characters are like, well, some of my characters are male and female, and others more in between spectrum.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's so fun to be able to do that, like to really give yourself the freedom to explore all the spectrum of humanness and gender. And it's also
Mm,
because it helps you in your own path, because I think our art is a reflection of where we are in our own journey as human beings, as souls. And sometimes
mm,
through seeing your art out there, it teaches you something about you or makes you see yourself in a different way. Maybe you didn't thought of that before, but thanks to your art or whatever it is that you're doing, you are able to see, oh, this is me, or this is something, this is a thing in my life. And that happens a lot, I think, with, when you're writing, because some things from your own life, you are going to naturally, leave them on your art, on your writing, on your characters too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm.
Oh, thank you, Sarah, for your well wishes.
Yes,
You
and
know, to yet enlighten, see it from this point of view. Mm.
yeah, it's always enlightening to hear from other people, and especially raw. But I really resonate with that what you said. Also one of the things that I realized lately is that I have been up until this point either trying to create something for other people or also working with emotions that I had previously in life as a child.
Yes.
Um, I have been doing that for a long time, and that's very different from what you do, which is creating from the present moment and expressing what's here now instead of trying to come to terms with what happened 20 years ago. It's very different. But that's also one of the things that I realized is if through gender neutrality we can free ourselves in a way and get closer to more sides of ourselves actually if we don't identify. And I never identified as I never really saw myself as female before.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of in the middle. I never really felt like either one,
Same.
so
It's like,
it really resonates.
they told me I was a female. I'm like, okay. And, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't feel too
Yeah.
strongly about it. So, yeah, I think we relate to that we're simply like ourselves. You are Chris, I am Ro, and, you know,
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And then I know a lot of people who are feminist, for example, and they're asking me questions, and of course I feel like that every person should have the same rights, but I also never kind of felt like there was me as a woman and men.
Mhm.
I always just felt like we were kind of in it together in a way, which is kind of odd, but I don't really feel that
Yeah.
there's a difference in a sense. So, but that was a great question.
Mhm.
Thanks for asking it.
Yes.
Yeah. Then there is the next one. It says, how does art help with healing in difficult times?
Mm.
Mm. And I guess we called it difficult times because of the corona
Yeah.
situation in the world, right? Yeah, those are the difficult times.
Mhm.
And but we also, because I do think we had a similar sub topic last time about healing, but at the time we didn't know that there was gonna be corona and that times could get much more difficult. We didn't realize that at the time. So healing in these times, would that be different from what we talked about last time, do you think? And also the emperor just sent a message.
Oh,
Maybe we should read it. Says, yeah, the concept of gender must not arise at places like workspaces unless we talk about places like restrooms and bedrooms. Mm, yeah, workspaces unless we talk about places like restrooms and
I
bedrooms.
don't quite
Yeah,
understand, but I think mm,
I'm not
sorry
sure
for
I understand.
yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry, Shanton.
I'm worried about saying something because I'm
Yeah,
not sure I understand
yeah.
it. But but yeah, there are places like restrooms where there are like where we can't just go into the toilet that we
Oh,
like.
yes.
That's
But
true.
you know what? It's very funny because in my country, or I live in Peru, and there are sometimes in many places there are public restrooms that either women or men or whoever it is can,
Ah,
do their thing, and it's fine, because
yeah,
again, we're
yeah.
humans. What's the problem, of having a man and a woman, enter the same restroom, at different times. So in the end, we are humans. We have necessities. We need to poop. We need to pee. And yeah, please let people poo and pee, really, and change diapers of their kids and that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
That's a really good idea, actually. Yeah, but it is, well, I guess that's kind of some of the things that we might talk about later about how sexuality
Mhm.
in cultural aspects have become kind of maybe sex can be used as a weapon. It's been used to make people afraid.
Oh yeah, we talked about
And
that during
yeah,
our call. Uh-huh.
yeah, we did. And I think maybe it'll go under one of the questions that come
Mm-hmm.
after this one. But if we're looking at this one, then
Mm-hmm.
how does art help? We could also ask, how have you, Ro, been
Mm-hmm.
been working artistically during the Corona crisis? These
Yeah,
difficult times. Did, was it nice to have some extra time? I kind of thought it was at home.
yeah, definitely. I feel like I I'm more on the introverted side, so I feel like super fine being at home, and
Mm,
having my own routines there. And I think art has helped me heal during these times in the way that I think art for me means my ability to change the world and my ability to shape the world around me. And that can be,
mm,
you know, from a conversation that is like an art form, like communication, from sparking those kind
mm,
of conversations, or working with my clients, or doing my healing work, or intuitive art for myself, my videos. So art has always been with me, and also entertainment, movies, shows
mm,
I watch. Sometimes I go into Pinterest and I scroll down the posts and see pretty artwork or pictures, photography. So in a way, it has helped me a lot to lift my spirits, to keep myself inspired, and I think we all have that ability to find sources of artistic inspiration outside of us, and those inspirations
mm,
nurture our own art and our own creativity. Mm-hmm.
mm. So you spent time delving into what other people have done and
Yes.
getting
Mm-hmm.
inspired by that. Yeah. But I also think, as terrible as Corona has been, I also do think that it's been very good for some creative people. I
Mm-hmm.
realize a lot of albums are coming out from artists that I
Yeah,
follow that
from
I'm
this
really looking
space
forward
of
to.
quarantine,
Yeah,
if it's different, it has changed your life, like
yeah,
the isolation. Some of us really struggle with being like too lonely. And yes, for example, my muses, BTS, this Korean band, they released
yeah.
an album called Be. It was all about being in a pandemic, existing through these times, and helping each other out
Ah,
in these moments. Mhm.
oh, it was? That's so interesting. Did you get to hear it yet, or is it coming
Yeah,
out
they
soon, or
released it last year, and it's a short
last
album.
year?
It's around 30 minutes. The songs are very like super mellow, soft, like involving, super, chill. Not too much about, the
Hmm.
usual pop and hip hop music, but something
Hmm.
more, music to soothe your spirit.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, well, if anyone else has like examples of how art can help
Mhm.
healing in these difficult times, they could just
Yeah, go ahead
we
and
love it when you comment.
share with us.
Don't worry about commenting. We can
Yeah,
scroll.
we can scroll down.
We
Yeah.
got it. We're yeah, absolutely. But well, that's interesting. But yeah, I have noticed like there is this boom in creativity, and most of the artists that I follow have not yet released it, but just announced it. So I'm
Mhm.
kind of like, oh, what have they done? You know?
Mhm.
Also, I saw some interviews with, for example, Tori Amos, whom I love. she also did like lockdown interviews where she was talking about how she was doing and how she was incorporating
Mhm.
being together with her family all the time.
Oh yeah, that was also tricky.
she was she she saw the good and the bad, I'll say.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. It was like, oh, it's also we're all in this same situation, almost at least,
Mhm.
and dealing with it in different times. And we'll have to see what kind of art comes from it.
Mhm.
But one should think that it would be good for a creative soul to have some peace and
Mhm.
be able to be at home and reflect sometimes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the next question is,
Well, Sarah has a comment here. She said there are collective and external situations, and as an individual, we can create the release and reflection. Yes,
uh,
definitely. Yeah, when the collective energies get overwhelming or are too much, yeah, but we still as individuals can do our part to, to help the world, help each other, and also care for ourselves. I think that is very important. Mhm.
yeah, and Ro,
Mhm.
she has soul paintings, which she does for her Patreon members. I know, because I have one, and I love it so much. Yay! And they're really great. And yeah, and we talked about that, how it's so good to get into a flow where you just create what you feel, and that's what you do when you create these portraits, right?
Mhm.
You you feel the essence of the person that you're depicting, and then you just go with it. And they're
Mhm.
just so naturally playful, and I
Mhm.
just love them. So colorful
Thank
as
you.
well. Yay. And Namish says it helps a lot in healing because you get more time to create and explore. Exactly. Be able to be home and relax and being antisocial and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Being antisocial and being allowed to be, right? Because that's usually like there's always all these posts like how to be more extroverted, and
Mhm.
not these days. It's all accepted.
Yeah,
And
it's
you're right,
okay.
Namesh. Yeah,
If you want to be on your
exactly.
own, it's totally fine. As long as you're enjoying your
Yes,
own company, you feel, good. It's it's okay. You're free to do it.
yes, exactly. That's so true. Okay, so then we have the next question, which was, can you elaborate more on your new art project? And I know that I have one, but would you also like to say a few words about the 30 Days of Wholeness? I think you should, in case someone here doesn't know them.
Oh, thank you. Well, so through September, I have been uploading to my YouTube channel this free EFT tapping program. And EFT is this beautiful emotional freedom technique that combines Chinese acupressure with psychology, positive affirmations, and that cognitive therapeutic work. So these are 5 to 7 minute practices I'm posting each day related to different themes. For example, transmuting anxiety. Today, for example, today's video is on grief and sorrow because many of us
Oh,
perhaps have lost
yes.
friends and family to COVID, and what to do with those emotions, that love that keeps persevering. And yeah,
Mm.
those little practices each day are an invitation for you to, tap alone, and you get into this healing moment for yourself every day through September. And yeah, today is day 24. We have that grief practice and also our practices, as I told you, about anxiety or raising your energy levels, love, relationships, sex, of course. I love that one. It
Mm.
was so fun to do.
Yes,
And yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah.
thank you.
And grief is perfect for today, actually, because that's also kind of a part of our theme here today, isn't it?
Mhm.
Difficult times, yeah, but also through grief, maybe. How art can help us through grief is also very,
Mhm.
very good for today, I would say.
Mhm.
But I definitely also recommend the tapping and these videos that Ro are doing, that I've been doing
Yes.
also. Yeah, I think it's just so, to us, it might seem like really weird, like why would you be tapping on your face? Because we have this Western
Yeah.
approach to everything, but
Yes.
it's just magic. It really is. So if anyone is like, don't be like,
Yeah.
do it. Just try it with
Try
Ro.
your own, really. And I became an EFT tapping practitioner because I wanted to
Yeah.
heal my panic attacks that I had like in the past due to a little accident I had. So in a way, it's also what I love doing, I love sharing what helped me heal. And
Mm.
it's a very important part of my work, EFT tapping and energy healing. So I want it to share with others that might find it helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also thought about it when I thought about these questions. I thought about there's like the groundwork that needs to be done before we can ever think about art. And
Yeah.
that might be EFT tapping, or it could be yoga,
Uh-huh.
it could be meditation, it could be breath work. These help balance out the body, and that in turn is like a pyramid, right? You can't kind of build the top of the pyramid,
Uh-huh.
which might be art, if
Yeah.
you don't have any groundwork underneath and you're kind of losing it half the time, which we all know the feeling. I do anyway. And so I just think that this is the basics, the 30 days of wholeness, the tapping, meditation,
Mhm.
yoga. Do it
Mhm.
and then do art after, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Well,
I
tell me
really think
about
so.
your project, your art project. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I this year also had to go through one of the toughest times that I ever experienced,
Mhm.
and I kind of always have to do something slightly weird, maybe. At least many people have thought it was weird. But I started to create 18 plus art. I started going into, I had my alias at Twitter, and I started looking into themes like shame or repression and sexuality in general. And it was just it's very interesting to me how these things that might sound kind of on the dark side or the negative side kind of led me back to things like self-love and the right to feel pleasure in our bodies, the right to kind of masturbate. And I kind of
Mhm.
started thinking about like how unnatural sex has become in our culture.
Mhm.
And I always thought of it as something that was really like scary, or something that could be used to hurt you or wound you with in some sense of another. So for me, it's all new that sexuality can be seen in so many ways, that it can be a personal thing that we have to kind of lay out for ourselves. Do I want to view it the way that it's been presented to me?
Mhm.
Or can I delve into it? Can I explore myself? Can I find out what I think? Because I really feel like I've been spoon fed, like, okay, you should feel ashamed about this.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I have been so repressed that at some point I didn't even know if I had any sexuality, because I was so afraid to express anything, because it was so associated with shame. And
Mhm.
I think that's a shame.
Yeah.
because because it should be a personal thing to explore your body and your thoughts and how you react to things. So I kind of did that, and I thought, well, okay, let's go. And I started watching videos of whatever whatever was out there and seeing how I reacted to it. And then I created art based on that. And I created art that was something that was happening to me now, as opposed to something that happened to me as a child.
Mhm.
So it's been kind of like, I'm not really sure where it's going yet, but I had so much like love and support, and I just felt like I was being embraced in a whole new way by people who weren't judging me or um, seeing sex as something sinful, which
Mhm.
I think that's the biggest mistake that's out there right now. It's so shame ridden and so sinful, and I just think like it's a natural thing. Can't we get back to that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
That's
new
beautiful.
project.
That's beautiful and so
And
moving and inspiring, really. So many people need to hear about this, about, releasing that shame about sex, about sexuality, about enjoying your body, and because it's sacred, right? It's like, not in sacred
yeah,
as a term of religion, but it's important, it's beautiful, it's who we are, Just like we eat every day, it's okay to have sex every day, or, show your body the way you want it to, be seen by other people, enjoy your pleasure, and it's so liberating.
exactly. And that's why I was so happy when I saw your tapping video,
Oh,
freeing sexuality, and you were talking about how to positively reinforce these things like in our bodies, like to be able to say to yourself out loud, like you
mhm.
did in your video, like I have the best orgasms and stuff.
Yeah,
Just,
by myself and with
just
others. Yeah.
yes, just say that, yeah, and by yourself as well. Like
Uh-huh.
it's not shameful, and it should not be presented to kids or anyone as shameful.
Hmm.
It's so important that someone is like speaking up and being like, okay, we have to stop this. It's
Yeah.
crazy that so many people have to feel like, oh my God, like I'm not natural. Like everybody, like literally, it's a physical thing. It can
Hmm.
become a spiritual thing, but it also kind of has to be there.
Hmm.
So yeah, so important. So I'm so glad that you took that up. I really enjoyed it so much. Yes. Mm. Yeah, so those are our art projects for 2021.
Hmm.
30 Days of Wholeness, and I took on an alias and did 18 plus art and lost a lot of followers, but it's okay. um, let's go to the next question. We have like only 10 minutes left. Can you believe it? Oh. And I really love the next question, so we have to get this one as well. It's, does art depict true emotion? How nice is that?
Hmm.
And I have been looking forward to hearing Rose's answer, if she has
It's
one.
a very big question. This art
It
is
really is.
through
Yes.
emotion. Hmm.
Mm. But
Hmm.
it's also really, oh, there are some new comments. Oh, but I'm not good at scrolling. That's a beautiful answer, Christina. Thank you so much.
Thank you
I'm glad.
so. Thank you for
Mm.
your interest in 30 Days of Wholeness too. By the way, my YouTube channel is
Yes,
youtube.com/love and soul 7. That's the same as Instagram. Mhm.
absolutely. Go check it out. So important. So important. And oh yeah, I love this. It's probably gonna be our last question. Uh, unfortunately, since there were many other good ones, but I really like this one. Like, does art depict true emotion? And I guess I kind of already, so Ro can get a chance to think about her answer. Maybe would it be nice? Um, that I have been creating in part for other people, not consciously, but when you look back on it, because I have a lot of sensitive people around me who has probably been really worried about if I was expressing something that was a bit dark or a bit too much in their view, then they would be like, oh, like, and that kind of affects me because I'm so sensitive as well. So I'm like highly inclined to adjust myself to the responses that I get. So it's difficult for me to kind of stay true to my artistic view and to what's actually going on in my head because there are so many people around me who can't deal with my thoughts or emotions. And that's been difficult for me. And that's why it's also kind of helped me to create this alias to post things under where I didn't have to be me and I didn't have to worry about having a lot of likes because it didn't feel like personal, but at the same time felt more personal.
Mm-hmm.
So true emotion, it's also a question of whose emotion?
Mm-hmm.
My own? Someone else's?
Mm-hmm.
Rose writing a book with characters in it and living in these characters probably a lot.
Yeah.
So what
And
kind of true emotion? I really like the idea that you had, Ro, about
yeah.
like feeling the energy and tapping into to another energy that isn't necessarily ours, but is still true.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think
Yeah.
totally. I think it really can depict true emotion because in the end, if it makes you feel something, if art like sparks a feeling within you, I think it has
Mm.
done its job as art and as, creating resonance, creating harmony
Yeah.
between the artist and the viewer, the receptor. So yes, and I think my approach is that if I generate an impact in someone, then my job's done. Even if it's just one person, even if my person is viewed by just my video is viewed by some just one person, but and that person
Mm.
felt like touched by what I shared, then I feel it did its job and it's good, and I feel accomplished. And yeah,
Yes.
I think it's about that. I think that way of seeing it can be helpful because also you don't really know about uh, the repercussions and the further impact of your creation. So it's in a way like you simply send them out to the universe, to the world, and you let them others do their own thing with your art, interpret it the way they want to interpret it, and they might feel very different ways. Maybe they feel something different than you expected when you were creating your art, but
Mm.
anyways, they extracted some insight from your art. It created an emotion in them and some validity, and
Mm.
that is valid. I think those all reactions are valid. Of course, we aim to generate positive reactions rather than perhaps negative ones. People saying, "Oh, I hate this, this horrible, horrendous." So no,
That sucked.
but yeah, I
But it's
think
also fun when that happens, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
it's
you're
funny.
like,
It's
oh,
funny.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You kind of have to laugh because what else would you do, right? Cry. But it's also, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You already said so much of it, and we got a beautiful comment here from Rose Bunny again, who
Yes.
says, "Art with the intentions of making it for yourself, and art itself can turn out to be so authentic as opposed to doing art for others. Never lessen who you are for others. Art
Yes.
does depict true emotion."
Yes, never
Or we
less
can
for
say,
you others.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But we also, it's also kind of, I guess, difficult because we have to also be influenced and in some way be aware of what we are sending out
Yeah.
and doing to other people. So long as you're a sensitive person, I guess we have to kind of also feel the emotions that other people are feeling when we make something. And that can be really like a difficult thing, also an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it is true, never lessen who you are for others. I have like as an inspirational quote on my wall right now, I have don't censor yourself.
Yeah,
So that's
censor
yes.
yourself. Oh.
But Instagram doesn't agree. Like, they're like, censor yourself, Christina. It's like, I'm sorry, I'll do better. But yes, but also like true emotion. It's like it's an interesting concept, right?
Mhm.
Because that could be your true emotion or my
Mhm.
true emotion, but it could
Mhm.
also be, who knows, someone else's true emotion at one
Mhm.
point. If we're able to tap into, if we believe in the previous life reincarnation thing, then it could be your past lives true emotion.
Mhm.
Wouldn't that also be an
Mhm.
interesting thought?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, so beautiful. Wow. Maybe we can have like one more question. Yay.
Yeah. One quick one because we have like 4 minutes, I think. Yeah.
Yes, and we have the countdown, and I won't think that I explode this time, I promise. Not this time.
That's right.
Okay, so the next one is, how does your teaching help others to nee, how does your teaching others help you to heal? So that's a nice way to end the show here, like going back, like how does what we do make us feel like we're healing? That's a beautiful question to
It's a
end with, I
beautiful
think.
question. I love it.
Right? Yes, I love it too. You go first, Ro.
Okay, let's do it quickly. Yeah,
Yes.
yesterday I just posted on Instagram about my past struggles with depression and
Oh,
how
yes.
it helped me
Oh.
become the person I am today. And I
Mm,
share that my work right now, the work I do right now is an extension of my own healing because teaching is self-healing, is
mm,
self-remembering. Because we are teaching something, you are remembering that again and again. And you know, writing it on your cells, on your DNA, on your whole energy body. And that really helps you
yes.
to continue on that path of self-love, of holistic living. And for me, it's one of my biggest pleasures to do this, because I do it for myself, but it also helps others. I also am able to help other people in their own paths. And to me, that's beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's really everything. When you're teaching someone something, then you heal as well, because you see yourself in them also, and you
Yes.
remember the place that you were once
Mhm.
when someone maybe wasn't there to teach you or heal you.
Mhm. Yeah.
I know I felt like that, like,
Hmm.
okay, I did not have this, but that would have been so great to have, like someone to talk to. I always offer this to my students, like you can talk to me about anything that you really want.
Yes, what a wonderful teacher you are. Amazing. With
Yeah.
all your explorations now, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. And you too. It's been, yeah, it's always so inspiring to have like someone like you whom I know to be so spiritual and so enlightened to really like encourage me to keep doing my thing. It's like it means the world. And I'm so glad to follow you. Mwah.
Same. I love you, and you inspire me. I admire you. It's amazing. And yeah, thank you.
I love you so much too. And it's been such a good time here
Mhm.
today. And
Mhm.
I also want to say thank you to everyone who stopped by. It's been
Yes,
so nice to hear your questions, and it's really been really helpful to have something to answer to and hear Rose answers to as well.
thank you, my friends,
So we
for
have
your
1 minute
answers.
left.
Yes,
Yes. Shall we say goodbye and thank you before we
yes,
get
sure.
the countdown?
Yeah, before the countdown
Thank,
comes. Thank
thank
you.
you everyone for being here. Thank you, Ro, for having me. I hope we can do this again soon.
Yes,
Yes.
sure, totally. Finger
Mm.
hearts.
Ooh. Yes.
Thank you,
Bye,
my friends.
everyone.
Goodbye. Take care. Have a great day, great evening. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Love you.